In a world where traditional notions of masculinity are often challenged or dismissed, Jordan Peterson offers a compelling perspective on what it means to be a real man in today's society. His insights, drawn from years of clinical experience and deep philosophical reflection, provide a roadmap for men seeking to live authentically and purposefully. This article explores Peterson's views on manhood, relationships, and the pursuit of a meaningful life. The myth of happily ever after. Peterson begins by addressing the common misconceptions about relationships perpetuated by media and popular culture. He points out that the traditional happily ever after narrative has been replaced by an equally problematic idea: that true happiness lies in frequently changing partners and avoiding long-term commitments. However, Peterson argues that this modern myth is just as misleading as the fairy tale ending. He emphasizes that real fulfillment comes from the hard work of maintaining and nurturing a long-term relationship. This perspective challenges the prevailing cultural narrative that prioritizes short-term pleasure over long-term satisfaction and growth. The value of committed relationships. Drawing from his clinical experience, Peterson shares observations about men who engaged in serial sexual relationships. While acknowledging that the ability to attract multiple partners might be seen as a form of success, he argues that this lifestyle often leads to emptiness and dissatisfaction. Peterson posits that true intimacy and closeness require more than just physical attraction or lust. He emphasizes the importance of caring for one's partner, suggesting that meaningful relationships involve sharing both triumphs and catastrophes. This view presents a more holistic understanding of relationships, one that goes beyond mere physical gratification, integrating sexuality into a meaningful life. One of Peterson's key points is the importance of integrating sexuality into one's life in a meaningful way. He warns against trivializing sex, arguing that doing so robs one of a profound source of meaning. Instead, he advocates for approaching sexuality with the seriousness and respect it deserves. This perspective challenges both the hypersexualized culture that treats sex as a casual activity and the puritanical views that demonize sexuality. Peterson suggests a middle ground where sexuality is acknowledged as a powerful and significant aspect of human experience, one that should be integrated thoughtfully into one's life and relationships. The importance of family and children. Peterson doesn't shy away from advocating for traditional family structures. He argues that having children and building a family is one of the most significant experiences a person can have. While acknowledging that some may choose different paths, he suggests that forgoing family life leaves a significant void that is difficult to fill with other pursuits. This view may be controversial in an era where childlessness is increasingly common and accepted. However, Peterson's argument is not based on moral judgments, but on his observations of what tends to bring long-term fulfillment to most people. He challenges young people to consider the long-term consequences of their life choices carefully. The dangers of casual relationships. Peterson warns about the potential psychological dangers of engaging in numerous casual sexual relationships, particularly for men. He suggests that this behavior can lead to a form of emotional detachment that borders on psychopathy, as it requires divorcing one's sexuality from the humanity of sexual partners. This stark warning serves as a counterpoint to the cultural celebration of hookup culture. Peterson argues that while such behavior might seem appealing or liberating in the short term, it often leads to emotional hardening and bitterness over time. The quest for meaning and purpose. Throughout his discussion, Peterson emphasizes the importance of seeking meaning and purpose in life. He suggests that intimate relationships, family, and creative or professional pursuits are the primary sources of meaning for most people. While acknowledging that some might find fulfillment in other ways, he cautions that a unidimensional focus on career or creativity rarely leads to a satisfying life. This perspective challenges young people to think deeply about what they want from life and to consider the long-term consequences of their choices. Peterson's argument is not for a return to rigid traditional values, but for a thoughtful and intentional approach to life's major decisions. The role of responsibility in manhood. A recurring theme in Peterson's discussion is the importance of taking responsibility. Whether in relationships, career, or personal growth, he argues that embracing responsibility is key to becoming a real man. This involves making difficult choices, committing to long-term goals, and being willing to sacrifice short-term pleasures for long-term fulfillment. Peterson's definition of manhood is not based on stereotypical masculine traits, but on the willingness to take on responsibilities and face life's challenges head-on. This perspective offers a more nuanced and mature understanding of masculinity, one that focuses on character and actions rather than superficial attributes. The challenge to society. Peterson's views present a challenge not just to individuals but to society as a whole. He argues that we are failing to communicate fundamental life values to young people, leaving them ill-equipped to make important life decisions. This critique extends to educational institutions, media, and cultural influencers who often prioritize short-term gratification over long-term well-being. By advocating for a return to more traditional values around relationships and family, Peterson isn't calling for a regression to outdated gender roles. Instead, he's urging a reconsideration of what truly leads to a fulfilling life, based on his clinical experience and philosophical insights. Conclusion: a call to authentic living. Jordan Peterson's perspective on becoming a real man is ultimately a call to authentic living. It challenges men to look beyond cultural stereotypes and societal pressures to find a genuine path to fulfillment. This path, according to Peterson, often involves embracing responsibility, cultivating meaningful relationships, and integrating one's sexuality in a thoughtful and purposeful manner. While his views may be controversial in some circles, they offer a compelling alternative to both rigid traditional masculinity and the aimless pursuit of pleasure that characterizes much of modern culture. Peterson's message is one of hope, that through conscious choice and hard work, men can build lives of meaning, purpose, and genuine satisfaction. In a world that often seems confusing and directionless, particularly for young men, Peterson's insights provide a roadmap for personal growth and fulfillment. By emphasizing the importance of responsibility, commitment, and thoughtful decision-making, he offers a vision of manhood that is both challenging and deeply rewarding. Ultimately, Peterson's message is not just about becoming a real man, but about becoming a fully realized human being, one who is capable of forming deep connections, contributing meaningfully to society, and finding genuine happiness in the complexities of life. It's a call to maturity, responsibility, and authenticity that resonates far beyond gender lines, offering wisdom for anyone seeking to live a more purposeful and fulfilling life.